Hi, I'm with etrailer. If you have a 2023 Toyota Highlander and you're going through some snowy areas and you just need a little bit extra traction for those emergency situations, or your state requires you to have some sort of traction device on hand, then the Titan Chain rolling tire chains are going to be a great option for you. So let's check them out. And a couple things to note about what we have it on today is that we're going to have this on tire size 235, 65, R18. Now this will fit a variety of other sizes. That's just the size we have today. And we're going to have this on our front axle as what the manual recommends. Now if you're worried this isn't going to fit your vehicle, you can actually plug in your vehicle's information into our fit guide to find the right one for you. So taking a closer look at these links, these are going to be made out of a low carbon steel. So what that means is they're going to be a softer metal, but they're all going to offer you a smoother ride overall for a couple reasons. With that softer metal, you won't feel those bumps as much. And since these don't have any hard edges and they roll, that's going to provide you a smooth ride too. And these are also going to be Class S chains. So also giving you more of a smoother ride or better ride overall. It's also going to provide you plenty of clearance to sit underneath your suspension. Along with that, we're going to have this ladder pattern design. And with that ladder pattern, that's going to give you more traction when you're starting and stopping. Now, looking at the bottom of our tire, you notice we're going to have this lever right here. And this lever is just something to help us tighten this down a little bit easier. Because that is the issue with these type of links, is with these blocks, they can be pretty difficult to get stretched out into these channels and still have enough tension on here. What that lever is doing is helping us out a bit. After when you get this connected, then you can get a little bit more tension out of it. And speaking of tensioning devices, what I do recommend is investing in a set of rubber tensioners. If you don't have any, we have plenty on our website. And what these do is they pretty much just grab onto your chains and they apply tension as you drive. Because what can happen a lot of times is once you're moving around, things can shift in your chains, and once they shift, they usually loosen up. And what this is going to do is, if things do loosen up, this is just going to tighten down and keep things nice and secure. And they're also going to come to a set in this pretty light duty bag. And I have mixed feelings about this bag just because, one, we do have this bigger opening, which makes it a bit easier to get your chains into. But at the end of the day, having any type of roller link chain is going to be pretty difficult to get back in your bag. In my opinion, I think this is a pretty good option if you're just looking for something to have in hand in case of emergencies, or you're just trying to stay legal in your state. Now, I do think there's plenty of better options out there. And if you're looking for something that's also going to be pretty affordable and doesn't take up a whole lot of space inside your vehicle and easier to get back in its bag, then I'd recommend the Titan Chain Snow Socks. What I like about those is once you're done with them, you can just fold them up. You don't have to worry about getting them back into that bag, and they're going to give you as much or even more traction than what these can give you. And in my opinion, they're even easier to get on. The one downside to them, though, is they're not recommended to drive on pavement. Really, none of them are, but you're going to see what happens to them the most when you do, because a lot of times with snow socks, if you drive on pavement, it's going to tear up that material a lot faster than it is with this more metal type of chain. So that's going to be the benefit of these. If you accidentally drive over some pavement spots or some spots that are a little bit spotty, these should be fine still though. Now if you are curious to see what this installation looks like, just stay tuned, we'll walk you through it. To start off the installation, I like to grab some gloves just to make this a bit easier, and also lay out my chains too. Now, if you are doing this for the first time, I recommend staying home, trying this out, because you don't want to try to figure this out on the side of the road in the middle of a blizzard. But what I'm looking for is a couple things. I want to make sure there's no damages to my links, and I want to make sure it's in the right orientation. So this hook that we have on the end of each side, we want that to be facing up, so it's away from our tire. And we want this lever right over here to be on the outside. Once we've established that, I'm going to start putting it on. The way I like to do it is just grab it from the center and drape it over. And we're going to try to make it even on both sides, so you don't want it to hang over like this. You want to make sure it's around in the center of this tie, or you can check on both sides too by putting your hand back there. Once you've done that, just kind of do that all the way throughout and kind of adjust the end of this so it's a little bit easier to make our connections later. Speaking of making that connection, when you do that, this is going to be a really tight fit, especially if you are a larger person. You're probably only going to be able to get one arm in here. So give it a few tries because this will be a tough one. And we're just going to pretty much grab the side with those metal blocks and push it to the other side that has that open channel on it. And this might take you a few attempts too, just because you want to make sure you don't get this too tight, but you also don't want it too loose either, because you want to make sure it's even on both sides, the front and back. And making the connections on the front side is going to be pretty much the same thing, where we grab that metal block, feed it through that channel. Once you've done that though, this is where it gets a little bit different. So we're going to grab this lever now, and we're going to apply pressure to it till it reaches over here, and we can get the grab around the backside of that cable. Now sometimes this will get in your way. You just scoot that up. What that's for is if you have a lot of excess and you want to leave keep your cable pretty straight, you can put it through here, but we don't have that much excess, as you can see right here. And then after when you're done, just come back through, pull on it, make sure it feels pretty good. And this does feel pretty good, but I'm still gonna grab a rubber tensioner just so we can keep everything nice and tight as we drive. The way I like to put it on too is gonna be in a star pattern. When you do this too, you also want to make sure that your hooks are facing away, because you don't want them puncturing your tire either. Kind of see what you got going. This isn't too bad. It's pretty well distributed. I might adjust it just a tad bit more. There you go. I like that more. Once you're done with this, then you're going to repeat this process on the other side. Afterwards, you can back up and pull forward some and make sure everything is sitting there still properly. And if it is, you can take it out for a drive. But that's just a look at that Roller Link Titan chains on our 2023 Toyota Highlander. I'm Matt. Thanks for watching.